Thank you for coming. If you can't hear me, just yell "speak up," as Dad would for the benefit of those in the back. Dad considered himself a wild man. If it was fun, he wouldn't mind bending a law or two to do it. As a teenager, he spoke of racing down I-70 before it was complete with his buddies, maybe moving a few safety cones out of the way. He taught me what 3 in the tree meant and how to change oil. He was extremely competitive. He wanted to be the fastest, the best, the most productive person at everything he did. That's how he wound up racing cars and training dogs. He would pour endless hours into proving himself he could for these facets of himself. I don't want to call them hobbies because he lived and breathed them. They were constantly on his mind. He was a little wild. There was one time I was being naughty. I was hiding from my parents, and I was hiding in a field out back. And when I thought they had left to go to dinner, I snuck up, and I was in the backyard, and he was on the motorcycle, and he chased me all the way to the back door. And he's doing wheelies, too. I've never run faster in my life. If you've worked with him, you know how single-minded he could be trying to make things better. He could struggle getting himself across, as he's more likely to tell you what he thought, how you should do it, and how he could help you do it. To put it lightly, he wasn't shy. Dad worked harder than any other man that I know. He was a salesman for the Lewis R. Pulser Company for over 50 years, and he eschewed vacations, and I can count on one hand the time I remember him being sick. He was a bull who never slowed down. He took great pride in his work, and the success of his customers, his friends, was the best example of his own. Over the years, he instilled his work ethic into his family. He has 5 acres of land, and there are plenty of days where you need to clean up all the trees, all the leaves and the sticks and everything, and we would spend hours, many fall days, cleaning them up, raking them, throwing them in a wagon. And I thought the best part was I'd get to jump in the wagon and hold them down as we'd take them to a burn pile. I loved that. Dad was always a boisterous man. He was hard to miss as his presence filled a room and sometimes more. If he loved you, then you know it. The people around you knew it, and maybe even the people down the hall. He delighted in his family. Weekends were spent at soccer, wrestling, tennis, racing, or dog shows. You couldn't help but let him rub off on you, especially his competitive nature. Dad wanted the best for those around him, and he would push you to achieve it. And he wouldn't mind teaching his grandchildren some subtle language, like, "Alexis, you can sit on your tuchus." In the last year, Dad struggled with his health. It affected his mobility and his self-image. In the end, he did not let him make it lesser for it. He kept working, and he told us several times he would be running again in 4 weeks. He was strong for us. Now I'm reminded of a time when Dad's father, Harold, was unwell, and he asked me to ride downtown to visit Harold. He warmed up his motorcycle. He put me on the back of it, and he fashioned a seatbelt out of a dog leash. It was a warm, beautiful fall day when the leaves were just starting to turn, but hadn't quite fallen. As we cruised up hills and over creeks, the sun would dance through the leaves, teasing us from ahead, but we never quite caught it. That scenic tour seemed like it lasted all afternoon. I'm not sure what Dad was thinking about along the ride. I didn't ask him. But now I think today, it's not the time to say goodbye. It's time to say, "See you later, Dad," because he's off chasing that sun. Thank you.